Linsa. In today's video, I come to show you the step-by-step of this dress that I am simply in love with. It's a good summer, isn't it? I hope it is easy to understand for you. I tried to do better, explained and simple as possible. Do not forget about liked. If you like this tutorial too, if you like my channel, be very welcome. Here there are sewing tips, tutorials, and also fashion. You get well informed here with me, so let's go step by step. Let's sew. The dress we're going to make today is this model, and we're going to start with the bust. To make this bust, I'm going to make a mold on the paper, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to do it. I prefer to do in the mold on paper, which I already passed directly on the final fabric. I got a piece of brown paper here, but you can use it. It's 4, you know. Join them with Durex. You can also use here, we will do this bust model that is there on the dress, here on the body. I'm going to mark here as half of my body, and I'm going to fold. I'm going to fold this part here that I folded. I will cut it, and we will do this modeling here and wait. I can still open a little more because I'm holding my neck well. She's going to be a lot more inclined here. And the small half, which is right here, the middle of the bust. Now, I'm going to see here the height. I want this bust. I think it's cool here. I'm going to cut it on my shoulder. Oh, I'm going to mark where the shoulder is. I'm going to cut it straight here. Oh, under the bust. I'm going to give 2 pins. I'm going to see if it fits here. I'm going to score here where my side is, and I'm going to cut straight. Now I'm going to do this. Oh, my arm, right? She's coming here. She's round. She's going to go up to the angle. I'm going to see if she fits here. Oh, she's still high on my arm. You see? Then I'll cut a little more. Verdant, this is a little more. And what happens when I hit the middle here and I put it like this? Give a left over here. Oh, you see? There's plenty here. I'm going to score a penis because I want it to be right. If you don't bother, just cut the pin and leave people. But I bother, okay? Then I'll give you 11 dicks here. And then it's going to be right. Oh, how did it fit right? You see, with this song, if I give more folds here, maybe I will end. Oh, if I give more folds below, it is also a possibility to end this opening here. Just there, you see here? I cut too much. I would have to do a little energy here, but it's a possibility. It makes me better. I made 2 folds on one side and 2 folds on the other. It's ready, it's my size, I think it's perfect here. I left it smaller the way I want it because you'll have mangosteen here, right? A little baba cut it here. Oh, I still think about it here, it's perfect, but I think it's better here. Oh, you see, I think it's small. Oh, it's down. And here it gives this downward, which is normal, this model, it will have this. And then to get more inclined here, I will fold this part here, I will cut it, so it gives it, oh, the back part will find here, and it will have this detail will fall, this beak here, oh, from here up, the dress is, the skirt I will come down here, and she will have this beak. Join here on the bust, then the bust is practically ready. I'm just going to cut this one here like, okay, it's more inclined, you see? And then the other side, I cut the same. The fabric I'm going to use is this. Is it a print? It's a sticky. The name of this fabric, it has the fluidity of viscose, but it has the texture of linen. The linen face I used 2 mates, but I confess that it was so it contained, remembering that my size is OPP. Now I'm going to start cutting, so I'm going to start here. Oh, by the mold we made, I'm going to take it out. I'm going to use the pin.
ends. So when it opens, it's like, oh, with these tips, right, they're part of it. We have to cut with these little dots here. Because when you fold them, it's the two sides of the front, right, from one bust and the other bust. And we're going to cut 2 parts from the inside, part from the outside of each. So it's 4 times that here. So I folded my tissue here once. Here's the yarn of the Erdem, this halo, and here's the width. I'll double it again. I'll add here. There's no seam in here, is there? I'm going to cut a few inches bigger to make the seam margin. And here on the side, I'm going to cut even bigger. I will cut a couple of fingers wider because then I can do my width closure later. I made a few picks here to mark where the folds will be, which is 4 in total. And right here with this part that we did the modeling, I already use it myself to be able to mark their position, and I will put pins by putting these heels in place. Now it's just to make that same mark on the other side of the bust. Now to start cutting the backs, we will first cut the sides on one side and the other. We will cut this medium. Then I'm going to fold the fabric here 12 times. I'm going to use the same mold we used in the front, but I'm going to fold this medium here so it's straight. I'll cut it off by leaving the seam margin. And also in this pit I will cut larger, because always behind the pit is a little higher, and the rest I proceed, but cutting the side there of the armpit bar in the same width. Under the armpit of the front, so it was like these 4 bands, right? Because it's going to be embedded. Oh, each side has 2 parts. Now we will cut the middle part, and in this middle I will apply Lastic. So we have to measure the distance in this medium so that we can multiply this width by 2, and when we put Lastic and it stays at this size to know this value, first I'm going to start measuring on my shoulder from one end to the other. I'll position it here. Oh, the little one, right? From that little pit, about the width of my shoulder, and then it's just measuring that space that you gave in the middle. In my case, it gave 16, and I'm going to multiply it by 2. So here's mine, 32. So I'm going to cut this piece of tissue this size, and I'm going to cut the height of this piece of tissue from the middle. From the height here, from the armpit to the bar here, in my case, it gave 21 centimeters. I folded the fabric here. Once I'm going to hit that part from the top, I'm going to cut it at the height I want, which is 21 centimeters wide, which we have also already measured here in my case, is 32 centimeters. And here in my case, it was like, a rectangle, next step. Now I'm going to take this forward and I'm going to pass a seam, closing this neckline just here, from here to the shoulder on both sides. You're like these pins. I'll do it like this. I take the little one here and I close it up here on my shoulder. I'm going to do this in 2 postures. I'm going to turn to the normal position, the previous position, right? Right side. It's going to be like this little lock. I'm going to take it here. On the side I want it to be the Aves. I will take the fabric I have just sewed to this side of the back, and I will sew a stitch here, holding it so that it does not turn. When I was wearing closed and beaten to the stitch, selling that fabric to the back. Now we're going to close that email here. Now we're... We could have closed the middle first and then closed the collar like this. But I think it's more beautiful when we close here first and then close this collar we're going to do here. We're going to take it here. The 2 in front. We're going to put it together like this. After we put the rest together, we're going to put it together.
Depois que
Here, oh, we found this email from the junction at the front of the collar, and I came here, and I spent a seam learning it. Stitch. I started with the back, I passed the straight stitch. When it came halfway here, I lifted the little foot of the machine. I'm going to make this quina, see? There is a quina, I directed the fabric in my direction. I kept sewing straight until I got to the end again of that other part, so he does a V here, right? If you pay attention to this V has to be right when we turn it right. When we turn it, just look at how it still looks, right? I'll pass an iron here to make it stay in the right place, but you can see that there is a V. Perfect with the perfect quina. So I like doing it that way. Now I'm just going to stitch here, hold these folds so I can take these pins off. Now we go to the back and we're going to start with this fabric here, which is the middle one. We're going to take it up here and double it 12 times. So then we put the elastic here and we start applying elastic, and I don't apply elastic, and I think the elastic doesn't last as long as the elastic. So I'm going to apply this very thin elastic here. It has, I think, about 3 millimeters or 4. So I'm going to apply several little careers of it, half the width of that fabric, which is the size that it needs to stay at the end. So I cut a few here. Half the width, but can you put Lastec into normal Lastec applications, right? So I'm going to do 12 folds and I'm going to make the sheath on this fabric. As I said, I can pass the elastic in this space, I sew it, and now I'm here with today, and I even show it in my channel in a white shirt step by step. If you want to see more clearly how it does it, it's just that you look for this hashtag blouse. So I come here, I study the beginning, I pull all that shit up until I get there at the end, and I sew it up. He's gonna stay here like this. Oh, same hashtag. But it will last longer, it is more resistant, and there is less repeating. It's been like this a few times. Oh, it's not that close, but I like the effect it's had. Now I'm gonna get a rubber band, and it's also half that full width we had done, right? And I'm going to pass a clip, I'm going to give a spike, I'm going to pass the clip, and I'm going to put this elastic inside this beret that I made. And then it's going to be like this. Oh, I'm going to spend a little time learning this elastic here so that he doesn't leave, so that we can do the back. I had a stitch on the stitch, and the elastic didn't come out, and you saw me sew it like this. Oh, now we're going to take one from each side of this, and let me take it from below. I'm going to leave these here with the right side up, and I'm going to take that part that we sewed. That's going to be the middle of those backs, right? And I'm going to take her, and I'm going to turn this way. I'm going to go like this, and then I'm going to take her band, and I'm going to put it on top, and I'm going to make this sandwich with this part in the middle. I'm going to put the right pins, and I'm going to put these 3 pieces of fabric together, and I'm going to put a stitch here and there on my shoulder. After this seam, when I open it here, it's in here. Here we will hit a seam here on the edge, holding this fabric here. Oh, we entered the side of the back. This side, are you following the enemy? We're going to hit a stitch here, hit stitch, and it was like this, holding all that tissue to the same side, even. The one from the rubber band, because it doesn't stay deflected. When we wear it, it gets a more beautiful finish. Now I'm going to take that part here, I'm going to play for it. stay together. Oh, these two bands here, I'm going to work right. Now we're going to do this other side here. So I'm going to take this little cloth and do the same thing. I'm going to throw him on top of him. So I take that part, I turn to top. On the other hand, we will take it here. But first I need to measure the height so that it is equal to him.
The other side here.
Oh, that distance from him. Now up to the shoulder, so I put the other side I did on it like this. Marco confines where this little part of the middle starts with elastic to stay at the same height. And I position it on top and I put the pin so that it stays there in place and does not leave. Then you come with the other band, that's going to be the scumbag, right? And I put it on top right side, with the right side is the outside. And then you just position it up like this. You put the pins and you hit a seam from top to bottom, and then you hit that seam the same as we did inside. You blink and I have done my stitch, and it's like, oh, I have done that same stitch, putting the little fabric from the inside to the back. And then it doesn't turn. The finish is much better. And it's been like this now that
Back and front.
they're ready, we're going. Close the sides, so I put here, the school has the front, the top, the right side and the front. I will put the right side down. It will be the right side with the right side, and then we will put it up here. But first, we need to mark the middle of these bags. I'm going to come here to measure this tissue from the middle. I'm going to see where half of it is to measure here, the center of the right back. I'm going to put the pins from top to bottom. What for? Shall we put this front in the middle?
Right up the middle.
The back is right and the dress won't be crooked now.
Positioning, or
Half by half and hit the right.
now I come with the circumference of my bust, and I will position the right one here so that I can mark the sides, the amount I will have to enter from each side, and then I will put the twin so that I can help at this time. There's a mark. Now I will pass the seam from one side to the other, and I will also already enjoy, and I will pass the seam joining here. Oh, the shoulders. So before we put together, yeah, I'm going to cut a little bit. I'm going to take 1/2 inch here. Oh, in this crack, if the shadow is a little bit lower, you can go down a little bit. And in the front, I like to take it 1/2 centimeter to stay a little lower than the back, just to give it a light.
It's left. How about these?
The leftovers you see, both in the armpits and on the sides, in the lower part of it, we will take them out. Then we will attach the shoulder in a built-in shape. So I'm going to take this. Oh, I'm going to open the front part and I'm going to open the back part. So it's going to be like this little open. I'm going to put this little half here from the front seam to the back.
I will.
Put the pin, then I'll come to the end and I'll put the pin to the other end. And I put the pin in this way, like this, open. And then I'm going to do a stitch, join it, right? Leave a 1/2 to 1 centimeter margin to connect this front with the back. Then, no, closing all the parts, it just got like this. I put this on top of a blouse because I'm filming here for YouTube, but then you're going to do it on top. From your underwear, your bra, and so on. I never like that part, do I? Yeah, I do it like this. It's always wide, and I'm going to squeeze it little by little until it's wide, right? I like it because it's wide, and I'll enjoy it too. I'm going to hit this side. You see her coming. You're going to make a nozzle. I'm not. I want her to come down. It's rounder. It's a little straighter. So I'm going to get into the machine. It's right. Even the armpit is good. So to get in, I do the following is I get in the eye right now, right? The amount on the sides here I need, but you can also take, and with a tape measure, you go measuring from 1 and 1 centimeter. Then you go in, I'll go today. One day I'll go in, even after I go in, I'll cut off the excess tissue, I'll get it right. All these parts that are bigger, oh, so much down here. Here below, we already take it off in the middle of the back until we leave the other side to keep everything the same. So much so that in that part of the armpit, you're seeing that my back has grown bigger. So I'm going to hit the front part to be right, and it's going to be like this. Look how cute. Now we're going to put Babadinho here in this house. That's going to be
like a little mango. And to do that, what's it going to be like? He's not going to get here at the end of this goat. He's going to be missing a little guy to end up here in the goat. I'm going to start him here. Oh, before. So I'm going to measure here in front. What is his size? I gave 16 centimeters here in my case, and I will fold the tape in the middle because we count the front and back of this quarry, which in this case gives 32 centimeters in my case. Just to put the scrub here well frowned, I like to cut twice that amount that I'm going to put here. So I will double it again, and it will give me 64 centimeters. So I will cut a 65 band for it. Freckle here, it's a good freckle. So to cut that scab, I positioned here my tissue. Oh, this here is the width of my tissue, so I folded once, twice, and I want it with my 4 fingers, so it gives 7 centimeters. But I need to add plus centimeters to the seam margin. So about 8 centimeters, only it is folded to have a finished, already built-in fold. So I will cut twice the height I want, and then I will double it at the end of the day. So here you gave 16 centimeter width for this scrub, and it's just cutting. I cut it from the length I needed to, which was 64 centimeters, right? But I left him with only 60. It was like, oh, 2 60 centimeter strips. We're going to fold once, and then we're going to fold again. Because this part of the tip, it's not going to be square like this. It's going to be rounded to end there in the armpit without going to the end. For her to get in there like this in the final finish, that you will come further forward, then she will stay like this, cut her free hand like this, that in the armpit she will stay like this. Oh, people, France. And she ends up with a nice finish and does that on the other. Then we fold it in the middle, and we will pass a seam and hold these two parts, right? A straight seam frowning, huh? You can already frown on your machine, as I like to do. I put the point and the wide tension there, and she's already frowning. Either you can use the foot pedal, which is already frowning, or you can pass a straight seam and pull one of the lines to frowning, until it is the size of the quarry. That we want. And then it's just passing through the machine. Come on, it's like this, and we'll hit it until it fits in the space we need in this pit. So look, mine is right now, and now we, with the help of the pins, we will put it in place so we can help. We think it's the middle of that shoulder that's up here. And I'm also going to put together the little bits of that scrub, and I'm going to find the middle of it here. I'm going to put that half up there, where it's the middle of the shoulder, and I'm going to put the pins on it all around so I can help with the sewing. Now I'm going to pass the straight seam holding, right? All this here, we put the pins in the 2 holes. Look at the funny thing you're getting. I've passed the iron to sit for a while. Now we're going to take it here in the armpit, where we have already closed. Let's open a little piece so we can do the finishing of that armpit, like that, of that sleeve, right? So I'm going to tear down a little bit here, and then we're going to pass the verloc around this junction that we did with the rough and the quarry, and then we're going to turn this part here, oh, to finish the outside, to be nice. I did the overlock. We're going to do this final finish here, there in the armpit. So we just bend like this and pass it on the machine, and it went like this. This here is the inside part, this here is the outside part. I only took the stitch to this part here, oh, just this way. It looked pretty, didn't it? Now we're going to do that in all the other parts. After we do that, we're going to turn this little body so we can close this little piece that we opened here, oh, under the armpit. So we do this. Oh, with the quarry, you see a little opening. I will close it here on top, do the backwards, and I came with the straight stitch and then pass overlock in the middle of the tutorial. I decide to turn my dowel. So I took the folds out of here, I didn't like it, and I'm going to make pens here, which I did. I broke the pens, I put it down. I don't know. It's gonna be easier. Now I come with the pins in the direction here. Oh, nipple, right? And I'm gonna do pence. I put the pins, which will be right, that's it. So much so that I have to do the pins and do the same thing here on the other side. Now it's just a seam here where we put the pins. Oh, and it's gonna turn into pence. Good. And then we got the right thing about the scissors, right? Because it's smaller. And that's it. We're going to find out how much this nozzle is going to give up here, up, how many centimeters do we have to go up here. So I'm going to grab my tape, I'm going to put it around my waist so it's straight in front and back. It's going to be at the same height from where it's going to start accessing. And then I'm going to measure how many centimeters it gives from this chest to there. See, she has to follow the lower part of the back. So here in my gave 7 centimeters, you will measure there and see how much it will give in yours. So this means that the bottom skirt has to have this 7 centimeter beak to fit there. And now we're going to cut the skirt of the dress to fit here. And we're going to need this width where the skirt starts. In my case, it's 68. Here's the length of the fabric, and here's the width. And then I doubled 1. 2 times. I will cut the front and back together. I'm going to measure the height I need for this first skirt here, which is 48 centimeters, and I'm going to cut it straight. Now I separate the back from the front. I'm going to use this front to get us started. I got that width. From the high waist that we double in 4, and I'm going to start cutting it here. Oh, I'm going to start the lower part more open to make a blank. And a little bit more than the width we need here. I'm going to mark the 7 centimeters of the beak, oh, on the side, because I'm going to take this amount out on the side to fit, oh, on the body. The body has this shape that I put here on top, so I made the spike on the side of the 7 centimeter. Now I cut following this shape of the blouse, and it will be the right beak 5 centimeter up. We measured the middle, didn't we? But we take the 7 centimeters from the sides, then the middle ends up with 7 centimeter high, fits right. Here he's a little more lake, right? That has the seam margin there, then correct until it stands 1 centimeters, only remaining on each side and here at the bottom. I'm going to take 1 centimeter by centimeter and a half from the side, because when we wear it, it will fall like this, it will become small, it will not be crooked. Now we go to the back. And on the back we will take the rest from the mouth, from the outside to the outside. In my case it's 7 centimeters, so I take the 7 centimeters here. Now I come with the back of my body, remember that he has a rubber band there, and I stretch to see the width of the skirt I'm going to cut, because she's going to stretch along the rubber band. So it gave up here. I will cut that excess, leaving under, will leak also front back of the cut skirt. Now I'm going to measure here from the side to see if it's at the same time. She has to give the same height, and now we're going to take it on the body. So I'm going to open the side of the body a little bit so that we can fit the back, then fit the front, and then we close the side. Then we take the seam here, break it down a little bit, and now we position it. The front, so O above the body, right side with the right side, and then we will put the pins. Think the right half I put in the middle of the body and put the pins from the outside out. Uniting is that front, right? Both of the skirt along with the front of the torso. And now I do the same with my back. I will find the middle of the back body here, and I will find the middle. The side of the skirt over there on the back. After that we will join half with the middle and pinning from the middle to the sides. Stretching, huh? From that stretch on the elastic to fit right and put the pins. And now it's just stitching, uniting, huh? Back and forward, ratio, ratio. A seam made by joining the body with the skirt. I will stretch the elastic tassel so that it can be stretched over the skirt, and then it Well, now I'm going to overlock it like this. And now we're going to close the sides from here to below. Oh, you can see that there's a little left in the back, no problem, and then we cut it. So I'm going to come here following the seam of the body to this part of the bottom here. You blink again, and I have sewn past, overlock it stayed that way. Now we're going to do the scraping down here. So we're going to measure the width down here. How much is it going to give? Because in my case, he gave 64 like this, so it's front and back, right? Then I'll fold the tape. It gave 128 is the width here below, and to that width, to make the scrub, I will add 1270 centimeters to make a slight frown. So here my total is going to give 198 2 mm wide there, that band that I need to cut to make. The scrub down, as my fabric is only 1 40 wide, I will need 2 heights. Guys, this is all that's left. This is left here. All right. Length to width, I doubled Tux 12. I'm going to fold it in the middle and I'm going to cut it, right? Separate into 2 tracks. And so, oh, I have 2 bands. Now I'm going to put one on top of the other, and I'm going to put it here with the right side up and the other with the side. Right? Turn up the other so we can take the excess and stay in the amount I need, which in this case, in my case, no, it's 2 NM. So I'm going to measure until I give half of that value of these 2 NM, because I have one tissue on top and another under, so I have a circumference, and it's going to give me twice what I'm measuring. So that's the amount left. I'm going to take it out, and then I'm going to be, oh, with the width that I need. So here we have our pussy. We're going to close the sides, pass the verlock too, and up here I'm going to pass a stitch to frown all that circumference so I can fit the dress. And then it was done. And it was like, oh, it was locked on the side with verlock. And I have already frowned closing that little edge. So I also spread the frown in a way that it is sure, well distributed of width. From the first skirt of the dress and the way I make that frown. We have more videos here, and I'll show you the little one, right? But to sum up, I put the length of the point in the maximum, and the attention of the point also put in the maximum here on my machine is already frowning automatically. My machine is this one over here. Oh, if in your machine does not work, it is only you pass a straight seam, pull one of the lines, and go Franzino in hand. Now we're going to join. It's this rub on the body, as I said, rub in place, it got that way. I already joined, it got that slightly frowned, and inside I already went to the overlock, I already gave the finish, and enjoyed that I was already there in the machine. I overlocked around the whole hem, and folded 1 centimeter, and made the hem very simple, and our dress is ready, and I thought it looked so beautiful, it was a finish. I very much hope it was easy to understand for you. It was a slightly larger video, but I tried to explain in the best way calmly so you could write, absorb the content. If you like this tutorial, leave your like. To let me know if you're new here, sign up. If you like my channel, if you like fashion tips, because there are also many tips around here, you are very welcome until the next video. God bless you very much, huh? Bye.